We also have the positions of survey analysis, which Celine, will you just say a little bit about yourself, please?
Hi, everybody. My name is Salim. I am an undergrad in Spanish. I live in California, and I'm doing the outreach in the survey analysis.
And Camille, she has been working on our banner ad and general content for the group. Camille, could you
Hi.
say a little something about yourself? Thank you.
Yeah. Hi, I'm Camille. I've been working with Roxanne on the banners and just sort of creating some general content for now. I am an undergrad in the digital audiences major, which is, I mean, I would basically call it digital marketing. That's what I do for a career. I'm a digital media planner, so I do Facebook, any sort of digital platform. I do their ads, website management, social media management, email campaigns, marketing, all of the fun stuff. So I'm really excited to help out with developing content and things of that nature.
Thank you for sharing that. Okay, so what we would really like to talk about in this meeting is what each position means. So for newsletter, it's very general, and ASU has done a great job. We want to just keep everybody informed about what's going on, dates of meetings, outstanding members. I know this issue has the members who really pushed for this group to start moving in the right direction of forming an online student government. We want to hear about growth and the steps that we're taking on the club development side and the outreach side, so I think the newsletter in general is very self-explanatory. With the newsletter, we have the welcome letter, and the welcome letter is going to be sent out to members who are just joining our team. We want them to know exactly what's going on, what we stand for, our mission statement, and things of that nature from the get-go. We don't want to leave them in the dark about anything that we're trying to do. The next thing that we have available to do is survey analysis. And analysis is looking at all the surveys that we have put out and cross-referencing emails. So for the student and survey about not complaints or griping or anything like that, but just kind of getting the general opinion, we put out the survey, and a lot of people did that survey, and a lot of people did the survey to be part of the mailing list. But what the survey analysis team would do would cross-reference, like who did sign up for the newsletters and just general content, and then who didn't do the survey analysis team. And then we would get an emailing list together of the people who we should send out the survey to, and the people who haven't signed up for the newsletter but did the survey. So just getting emails so we don't spam people. That's absolutely not what we want to do. We don't want to send the same message to one email address 3 different times because we failed to distinguish them from our mailing list. And we need numbers. A big part of our proposal is looking at the numbers. And since we were doing everything on Google, Google does an excellent job of breaking down every option in terms of percentages and how many people answered yes or no or maybe. So putting together a product that has all of the numbers. If you guys have taken the student survey, you will see that we have questions like, do you feel that you have enough online resources? And the options were yes, the options were no, and then another option was like, what resources? So we need to have like a breakdown of the numbers of, where we're lacking, what we need to be better at. So when we take our proposal to ASU, they can see exactly where we're missing or where the missing link is in terms of how the students feel and what they're providing for us. So the next thing that we have, and it's a big one, is our mission statement. We're having a hard time developing a mission statement, and it's so important to have one. We're working closely together with the development team, and I think that the mission statement will definitely have to come from them and us, because we are the advocacy team and the outreach team, but they're the ones who are forming our goals and structures and our bylaws and what we need as an online student government. But they can't work without our help in helping them figure out what it is. Again, we're all intertwined together. We're all working collectively to reach this goal. So if anybody has any experience in writing mission statements or has a good suggestion for one, I'd ask that you please come forward, step forward, email me, post it on the Facebook page, post it on the Slack, because this one's a big one. And not that we're running out of time for it, but I feel like it's one of the major steps that we should have done by the end of the month. Next thing that we have available is the Sun Devil Scoop blurb. So Sun Devil Scoop is the online newsletter for all online students. So every online student gets this for session A and session B. The deadline for the Sun Devil Scoop is July 8th. So that's coming up really quick. We have 5 days to submit our 3 sentences that describe what our organization is. And I have the guidelines to what they want it to sound like. They want it to be upbeat. They want it to be inclusive. They want it to be catchy. So we need to start maybe brainstorming about what we want that to say, because this is going out to all the online students, whether they're in session A or whether they're enrolled in session A or they're enrolled in session B. So this is a huge, huge way for us to get the news out. I mean, we're 60,000 strong online students, and we only have touched a tiny, tiny population. And we want to get as many people involved as possible. So another thing that we have added to it, it's not on the list, is our website, and I'm going to put that in the chat so everybody can see it. Here is the website. It's on the chat, so you guys could take a look at that. If you are not currently involved in any group but you want to be involved, the Google site provides a section on there that takes you directly to the sign up form. And you may have seen the sign up form on the Facebook page, but again, the Facebook page has some information on there. Sometimes we get lost with all the new posts and things of that nature. So if you
Hey Roxanne, I'm not sure if it's just me, but you're just kind of cutting out.
Get involved, become involved. Oh, am I?
You were just a little bit ago. I don't know if everybody else was hearing the same thing I was.
Yeah, it cut
Okay,
out
I'm
too.
Yeah, very cutty.
Okay, give me 2 seconds here. Can you guys hear me? Is that? Yeah, okay. So you guys will just scroll down the get involved part. There's a link on there and you can sign up if you are not involved in the group, which I don't know how many people are involved. But this is a great way for you guys to not have to really go through anybody and ask questions. Just go ahead and enter your name and I will reach out to you. And on the development side, we have Lawson and we have Elle who do reach out to the people who want to be involved in the development side. So the website is a work in progress, and we do want people to help us develop the website better. As we're so new, we don't have a lot of content to put on there. But as we start forming our constitution and we're forming our bylaws and forming our hierarchy, we're going to be adding more and more pages to that. So if anybody has any experience in web design or just doing really awesome things, on just a website, just reach out to me. We can work together. I can share the link so you can post, ask, the content team, the development team. I think I do run everything by them because I don't want them to feel like we're going above them or not including them in our content. So I got the okay from 2 of the leadership positions that they have on the development side, and they said yeah, and we went live yesterday. So our website's only been live for 1 day. So I covered all the areas that we really do need help with, and we're going to talk about future events. And the only future event right now that is kind of is the fall of it. It's in the fall, and it's the welcome week, and it's called Fall Welcome Week. So we're not really sure how we're going to try to participate in that yet, but some people have suggested creating a webinar. Some people have suggested actually being there live on Zoom, and I don't know where we want to go with this. So any ideas would be greatly appreciated, and we can start working on that now, because a lot of the projects that we're working on now, like the newsletter and the banner ad, the website, all of the things, they're already checked off. And we've established that the people who are project leads on that can definitely keep being project leads, or they can help other people who are interested in that position take on that role if they need to step back at any point. So Fall Welcome Week, webinar, I don't know, maybe even a PowerPoint, a video or something along those lines. We still need to get more information from Miss Casey, and she said she would fill us in on that. As we move forward, we're going to start creating content to be specific to our goals and structures. So that's really exciting. And like I said, this meeting is not going to take very long. I just wanted to answer any questions that you guys had. So do you guys have any questions?
Since I'm new at ASU, can someone briefly explain what Fall Welcome Week exactly is, just so I can kind of understand what we're working towards?
So from my understanding, Fall Welcome Week is like an event on ground that students can, or incoming freshmen or incoming transfers go to get to find organizations and things that they can be involved in. So
It's like
I
essentially
don't really
a club
know.
rush.
Yes, a club rush. So we are a club officially on Sun Devil Sync, and that would mean that we could be included in this.
Okay, gotcha.
All the details need to be hashed out, but that was one of the things that we discussed at our last meeting was Fall Week, and she said she would fill us in with that information. So as soon as I find out what they want or what they're aiming for or how we're going to try to do it, I will disperse the information to the outreach group so we can start brainstorming and getting things rolling for them.
And since you said Fall Welcome Week was an on-ground thing, is that still happening on ground, or due to the pandemic, is that going virtual now?
I don't know, but ASU is opening their campus in the fall. So they will have students there, and I can only imagine that every event that they have going on is going to stay on schedule. But I'm not entirely sure, so I don't want to ill-advise you on the answer for that.
Yeah, just thinking that we could use that to our advantage if everything's kind of going virtual.
What if, sorry, this might be like, I guess, a heavy lift. So, sorry, I was just reading what Lena was writing. What if, in a sense, we almost made like our events, like for the whole week of Welcome Week, like one sort of like little event per day, so that it's not like we're trying to butt into the on-campus Welcome Week. It could be like the same week, but in a sense that it's not just one event during the whole week. We could have like one day could be like just the learn, the next day could be like literally just like a game night. I don't know, like I don't know. I mean, I'm just going based off of the Rush that I'm familiar with, is that you know, there's usually like a general info night, and then there's like just a like genuinely like no business talk, just all fun, like you just play like games on Zoom or something, and then like a third day of like networking and or something like that, in a sense. And I know that might be a very heavy lift, because a whole week worth of stuff on like the first week of school might be hard, but to sort of, because I mean, personally, as an online student, that would have been cool to have, to like get to know people right off the bat, and make some friends. And then maybe we could have like, not I almost said an industry night. That is so not the right word, but like nights where like one night would be dedicated to meeting people in the same college as you. So like people from, you know, Cronkite, or people from the business school, each will have their own separate Zoom calls. And then like a final like Friday, like sign off. Like, I mean, we could even do something as simple on like a Wednesday night as like watch a movie together on Zoom, or like Netflix party or something like that. So it's like a full week's worth of events, just so it's not just one day, in case, you know, because everybody's schedules are all mismatched. So maybe it would work that way, in a different way, to have like a whole ASU online, like for all of our students. If I don't know, like again, I know that we'd have to pitch it to the university and stuff, but I think it would be cool.
I think that's a great idea. And I think, like, you know how you said make it a week-long thing? Why don't we just like assign us a small group of people to be in charge of that one night and that night specifically? So that way it's not overwhelming the whole club as a whole. It's just a couple of students, since we all have to take classes as well.
Yeah, definitely. We could just come up with like themes for the week, and then everybody could be assigned to like, you know, this group's doing the info night, this group's hosting the we watch a movie together night, this group's hosting the business school one, and like the same, like the major meet people in your major night stuff, maybe something like that. I don't know, that's off the top of my head, but I think that would be fun. I think that would really like make you not feel so distant, I guess, starting off in the fall semester, because Rush is super fun, like on campus Rush. So if we could like imitate that, I think that would really make some students feel very welcome.
Yeah, and like Lena said, I know she's leaving right now, but she did say that it might be counterintuitive since it's an on-campus thing. But think about it, as online students, we don't get that opportunity. And that's why, as a student government for online students, maybe we should start trying to think, or maybe ASU can start thinking about doing welcome weeks for online students, because there are a lot of online like clubs that students can do, but nobody knows about them because there's no like promoting them. I also think that, to bounce off of your idea, Camille, and then a little bit off of Teresa's idea with the newsletter, maybe we do like a welcome video where we include like people's name, like what their goals are, like what degree they're in, what graduating class they'll be. So again, we can like expose the diversity that we have going on in our club, and it's just not like only undergrads or only graduates or only science or only like business students. Like it's literally everyone. Anybody else have any other ideas?
Yeah, we really do have like everybody.
Go ahead.
Did you guys hear me okay?
Yes.
Just saying, we really do have a wide swath of age groups and representation across the college. I mean, I'm in my 40s, and we've got people that are substantially younger, and we also have people that are multiple disciplines. Well,
We can't hear you no more.
Yeah, I think you muted yourself.
yeah,
Me? Okay, yeah, I'm sorry.
I usually mute when I'm done talking, that way.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no, I agree with you. We do have a large variety of students, so why not make them be known, like show off that we do have all different students that come from different paths.
Yeah, and I mean, it would be awesome to just like in itself, like baseline, just make some friends, right? Like, because
Right.
you think like going to like it's so hard to meet people in classes because you're like one discussion, but yeah, like hey, I really agree with your point, and then you never talk to them again, right? Like outside of that one discussion board post. So like to actually be able to like meet people you can go to college with and have like college friends, like that would be so fun. Like especially because I mean, I feel like a lot of the responses from people were that they just felt alone and like they just had nobody to talk to and stuff. So yeah, that welcome week would definitely be a cool way for people to
I
network,
can't
make
speak for
friends.
everyone. I can't speak for everyone, but my personal experience, until I engaged my classmates either through Facebook, Facebook real-time chats like that, or through Discord servers or whatnot, I really had no sense of online being more like a college, a traditional college experience at all. It was a struggle, but once I started having that happen, it felt more like a regular college experience.
That's definitely something that I can agree with because I did 2 years like on campus at Ole Miss. And so it's like having that, like I moved into my dorm a week before classes started. And so we got tossed into the mix where we had to make friends kind of thing. And so having now that transition to where I'm strictly online, it's like you don't have that sense of community where I feel like we should at least provide some options for people to be able to make those connections and network.
So I agree with what you guys are saying. We should do something to engage. Not exactly what yet, but I like some of the stuff I'm hearing.
I definitely think something like a Zoom call where you can actually see people, see your fellow students. Like seeing you guys is the most I've seen anyone from ASU online. So to actually have that opportunity to welcome them and to show them like, look, hey, we're people. We're here for you, and this is who we are, and this is what we're about. Like, I really like Camille's idea.
One thing I can say about the engineering group, what engineering does is your very first class is like FSE 100, and you're required to pair up into groups and to work and to basically figure out how to solve a problem over the course of the semester. So you're forced, by baptism by fire, if you will, to figure out how to make it work. As far as working in an online environment across the team. So it's cool, but on the same token, it's scary, and it'd be nice if we could try to help some people along to figure that out early on,
Definitely agree with that. I mean, I can speak from my experience. I also did a couple.
I think that's a big reason. Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, no, go ahead, finish it off.
No, I think you guys are absolutely right and right on track with what we're trying to do as student government. We definitely want to have that inclusion that all on-campus students have, and we don't have that yet, but we're working towards that. And not so much that we're the face of this organization, but we're the people who are going to go grab those other people and pull them in here so they're aware. Like, we want them to know. Like I mentioned earlier, we're 60,000 students strong, online students. And we need them to know that they have a community because it is isolating to be an online student. And we want to have most inclusion as possible. So any type of activities that Ms. Casey can provide for us to go ahead and try to be a part of, I definitely want to to have a team ready for that. And we can even add that as a subgroup in our team, like a ready response team or a PR team ready to go with any ideas and things that could help us, one, have that inclusion for the online students, and two, be ready at a moment's notice, like, hey, there's this event going on that we could potentially be a part of. Do you think you can come up with something? I don't know what you guys think about that. If we could maybe set up a team of outreach students that would be ready to go on that moment's notice to help start developing something.
Yeah. No, I think that's a really good idea. I also, sorry, I just read what Heather wrote too. I think, sorry, I'm going to say two separate things. So I think in itself, I think that we should, if you could ask Ms. Casey if we can do sort of our own welcome week and coordinate with the other online clubs to like basically do our own version of like a all, you know, all clubs, all sort of thing for welcome week in itself. I think that'd be cool. And so I was in a sorority at my first school. So we used to have a position called sisterhood chair, which is somebody who is entirely dedicated to just like coming up with events to like bring us closer together. So I feel like we could have a team that works on just like straight up just like fun stuff, like that, like, you know, planning a little bit of a game night for some online students, or like throughout the year, like a de-stressor, maybe like a de-stressor night, it obviously it'd have to be worked out because over Zoom it's a little bit hard, but like, yeah, I think that's a really good idea to have a team of people literally dedicated Sister Richard, yeah, literally dedicated to just, because yeah, online school is cool too, but like if we do really want to, or like, and making sure that, you know, you're connected school wise, but like if we really do want to develop that sense of community between online students, I think that we should also do stuff that's just fun together in general, because, you know, if you're on person or in person on campus, you know, you and your friends are grabbing food or like walking across the street and like hanging out in the library, you know, stuff like that. So it's like if we could have a team that comes up with just, I was reading in the Sun Devil Connect that sometimes people just do Zoom calls where they just sit in silence and study together. Like that's cool, you know, like we just kind of create like a team that's literally dedicated for fun. Sisterhood chair, but not sisterhood chair because this isn't a sorority.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, like one thing would be really awesome is like the very first week when fall opens up, if we were just to be visible and do something like even just daily, one, you know, an hour thing over the course of the first week, just to help incoming freshmen to figure out, you know, or incoming students to understand, you know, it's not just a static thing, you know, to be there to answer questions, you know what I mean? Something like that could be awesome. And it could bring unity to the thing. You know, it could be more than just us. We could open up to other groups and just be there. Does that make sense?
Yes, that does make sense. To bounce off of your idea,
Yeah,
Camille, for one of the other clubs that I'm a part of, it's called Ideas. It's for science students. Roxanne, you're also a part of that one. We used to sit on Saturdays and do like 2 or 3 hours of studying using the Pomodoro method. So we would just put up the clock on the screen and then we'd study straight for like 25 minutes, and then in the 5-minute breaks we would just talk about what's going on our life, and we were not allowed to like mention anything school related whatsoever for those 5 minutes. And it was great. Like, I mean, I got a lot of work done and I felt like I was like in a study group with friends.
yeah, that's awesome. That organization, it's called Ideas, and Ellie, she is the president of that organization. We also have a thing called OH Hour, which is just basically everybody in the club gets on a Zoom call and we just talk about nothing. We just talk about whatever we want to talk about, but it helps us build relationships with our club members, and we get to know the elected officers more, you know, because I think when we structure our hierarchy and we have our co-presidents, because I think that's what we're aiming for, and then we have, you know, our vice presidents and our senators, to incoming freshmen, they may seem like so outreachable. right? Like they are not going to have time to listen to my little freshman problems or my incoming transfer problems. But if we establish something like that to develop inclusion, they could get to know them face to face, and that is a great idea. That's notebook worthy right there. And I do like the idea of having something especially for incoming students and freshmen, because they're going to be the ones who lead this organization into the future also. They're the next generation of student government, and we want them to be involved from the very beginning. Because I'm a senior, so I'm not going to be here for very much longer, but I want this to kick off the ground, and then somebody else, we need to have a constant flow of students to take up the mantle, because it would be all in vain if this group of students work so hard to get this developed and then we don't have any new blood coming in.
It's an excellent point you make. We really need to start it working on the next generation, or the next class, if you will, to get it so it sustains itself.
Yeah, I definitely agree. And that's sort of where I feel the welcome weekend itself will probably pay off. I think that we should host it, but it should be open to, because yeah, I guess this is looking into the future, like you're saying, establishing a hierarchy, but yeah, that means we'd have to have like sort of like a club liaison position, somebody that coordinates with the other club. I guess the presidents can do that too. It just depends, I guess, on the thing, so that they can participate in the welcome week, and it's just us sort of ensuring that this welcome week happens. And then I guess almost like a recruitment sort of aspect, because I know that's what outreach is in general, but like we'd probably, once we're established, have to take a harder, like go harder for recruitment and like just straight up. But yeah, that's all when we're established. But I think doing a welcome week would be really cool and like a really good way for us to start off and like really show our stuff as an org, even if we're just a club at that point and not even a fully established, student government at that point. But if we can, because ultimately we're here to make the online community better, and that's a way to like really prove our worth to the university in itself, as well as the students.
Yeah, I definitely want to have. Okay, so the development side, they're doing such an amazing job. They're getting this stuff done, right? But there's also other aspects of it that are important on our side. We need to recruit people. We need to help them find people who are going to help them finish what they started, So that's our main concern as an outreach team, is to let other people know that we exist. Hey, we're moving forward. We got this going on. Please join our team. Like I said, the website went live yesterday. We're going to send up the newsletter, the banner ad, and the link to the website to Miss Casey so she can review everything. And then we're actually pushing to have a banner ad in my ASU. It's
Hey, Roxanne, you're cutting out again.
Club. Oh, I'm sorry. So we're pushing for the Sun Devil, for the My ASU ad, and then our website went live. So we're doing great things, and our main focus right now is to help the development team get more people on the same page as they are. They need help. They need people working on different things, and that's where we come in. And I think we're doing a great job so far. And, if you guys know anybody who wants to be part of the outreach team, send them to the website so they can fill out the survey and see exactly where they want to be involved in, and then we can break it up from there. As far as, I don't want to keep anybody too long, but as far as the positions and the detailed, the vague details, I would say, that I mentioned for each of the positions or the subgroups within our outreach, is there anything else that you guys feel we should add? I know we mentioned having like a on-ready group of students ready to tackle like events. But is there anything else you guys feel that we could be doing as an outreach team that we haven't yet dipped our toe into?
Um,
I was just saying we could actually work with the other groups to try to corroborate and try to stitch them together, if you will, in the online environment.
Yeah, so we were gonna have our meeting right before they were gonna have theirs, and they had a few other leadership have some things that they needed to cover for today, so they weren't able to do their meeting. But just because you are in the outreach team doesn't mean that you can't go and join in on their team or their team meetings. I always do because I feel like I can't try to create content and try to lead the outreach team or help the outreach team in any way without their input and without their knowledge of what's going on. And we do work together as one unit. So this brings me back to the agenda, and I want to bring up the Slack channels. If you guys aren't already on Slack, please sign up for Slack so we can work on the backside so we don't flood the Facebook group and we can be in constant contact with each other. And I know that Facebook is a little bit more personal because we have to because some of us use it actually for social media and like interacting with our close friends and things of that nature. So Slack is more professional, I would say, and it's a better environment for a workspace so we can work together. So if you're not on Slack already, please get on there. I've sent several people messages on there, and I hand out like tasks, and we kind of do polls on there to see what works for us, what doesn't work for us. And that is a great way to get a feel for what the development team is doing also, because they're also very active on their channel. And we're all under student government as well. So I believe everybody on here is on Slack, but somebody asked like, why I gotta get on there? And I was like, well, because it's more of a professional thing. Your personal Facebook isn't getting flooded with information from our student government organization. I know for some it can be a little bit frustrating. So.
Hey, Roxanne, when you get a chance, could you give me some tips on how to actually set up that on my phone? Because I'm used to Discord, and I know they're not exactly the same, and I honestly haven't got it to run yet.
Yes, I will definitely. I can send you like a video tutorial, if that's okay with you.
That would be wonderful if you could do that. Just, I don't mean tonight. I know you got a lot going on, but whenever it's convenient for you. That way I can start communicating along that way, because I feel it with you. I've got a lot of different Facebook groups that I'm on chat with, and it becomes very overwhelming really fast.
Yes, it does.
If you want,
So,
I can do a tutorial with him instead. Like I said, I had the Slack at my workplace for a few years, so if you want me to do that instead.
yeah, if you don't mind, and then you can actually post that on our on the actual Facebook page. That way, because some people who are not familiar with Slack may want to be in the loop and they just don't know how to set it up.
So
I'll do
like a FYI sheet, like I guess like a, not a flyer, but like a how to get on Slack, like from beginning to end with screenshots possibly. And then once I'm done with that, I'll send it to you if you could mass distribute it for me, wherever, or if I can help you mass distribute it, just as long as you let me know where. I'd like to do that.
Yeah, a fly sheet would be awesome. I mean, even if it's just a download from the Facebook for it, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I'll work on it because I've done those for my job, because we all had to work from home and we all had to learn how to get on certain platforms. So I have experience doing those and the experience on Slack, so I'd love doing that.
That'll save me having to ask my teenage son how to do it.
Yes, that would be helpful for a lot of people too. So thank you so much, Celine, for volunteering for that.
No problem.
Okay, so we're coming up at an hour. Are there any other concerns or any other things you guys want to talk about? I mean, I don't mind staying on here and talking, but this is being recorded and I don't want the development team to feel overwhelmed by having to sit through a whole hour and a half video or anything like that. So
I
if
have other
you
stuff
guys,
that I want to discuss, but if anybody wants to go ahead and leave, that's fine. I can sit here and discuss that with Roxanne.
Yeah, I
so-
wanted to bring something up too really fast, but it's no biggie.
okay, so is everybody in favor with me stopping the recording? And then we can discuss amongst ourselves?
Yeah.
I think we covered everything on the agenda. So
Thank you,
I
guys.
think we're good on that. Everybody in favor?
Yes.
Yep.
Aye.
Okay,